Vernon Miller. I had the story about being raped while I was in prison.
Okay. Y'all know who it is. OG Percy, show no mercy. Where my daddy cursed me.
Basically, gave a story that most people technically would take to the grave. Technically, they wouldn't be so open to tell this story, but yet you kind of bared your soul and you spoke on it. And of course, for good, bad, or indifferent, the world received it. For you, first and foremost, speaking about things that happened to you in prison, how was that for you to even speak on it? And then, Percy, I'm gonna ask you the same question, but please go ahead.
It's rough. It was rough. I mean, I still have moments when it's hard to talk about.
Percy, for you, you again, tales from a crib.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
You were able to tell stories that that again the average citizen hasn't touched foot in the jail or in the penitentiary system. The average citizen hasn't done anything like that, but you're able to come out here and relive these stories. How was it for you being able to tell these stories of your time through incarceration?
Something you just asked Vernon that you said a while ago. You asked him. You said a story like that, a person would usually take it to his grave. I heard you just say that a while ago, and I'd like to shake Vernon's hand and thank him for not taking that story to his grave. You hear me? I'm thinking because a lot of people take it to their grave. And I got one of my sons, they need to hear it, firsthand. You dig what I'm saying? That's a story a lot of people hide. And when you hide the truth, youngsters will never get the truth. Youngsters look at the truth. Everybody think everybody come from the penitentiary is tough and made it through. Vernon could have easily came out and said he was one of them guys.
But you have a lot of those gangsters in there.
Guess what? A lot of them come out and do that.
A lot of paperbook gangsters.
Hello.
A lot of
he said the realest thing, paperbook gangsters. A lot of them, and like I said, I'm glad he didn't take it to his grave. In 2024, he's probably the first person that ever stood up and been a man. When the rest of them said that they was men coming out, knowing that they didn't go in and they went in a man, but can't come out fully a man. And they ain't gonna tell you they go to their secret corners with that story. And I'm glad that Vernon didn't hide the truth.
Percy, you went in there from the story you tell again. You went in there saying, "Hey, I'm in here. I'm gonna fight for my life if need be," and
yes,
you
sir.
did.
Yes, sir.
Vernon, you went in there kind of a little more green, not saying I'm gonna be a person who's fighting for my life. What is the mentality behind that? And Percy, I'll let you start first as far as knowing from the streets of when you come out to going into this system of like, no, it's going to be, I think the first day you fought, right? The first day.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So please speak on that as far as that mentality of going in.
Any man that go in somewhere, you'll be allowed to say that you're not scared somewhere inside of you.
That's true.
You'll be allowed to go and say you can come in there with your chest up and your head up and your chest out all you want to. It's something that's scared. You in a place, you in a habitat, you don't know what can happen to you. Some people stick their chest up knowing they ain't got no chest to stick up. But just want to be that way. I went to a unit where they prey on the weak and they prey on the strong. You couldn't come in no type of way. The job was never to come in there. But due to my hard-headedness, I ended up in a place that I thought I was tough, so I went somewhere where they had tough guys for me. To go in and say that something can't happen to me is because, like I told you, I learned from experience. I learned off of people like Vernon. You understand me? When I say Vernon, I learned off people because I seen what can happen to a man. And when you a man, you hear me? I seen what can happen to a man when you a man. I mean, when you go in there and say I'm a man, I'm gonna come out a man. You don't know that. You can't say that. When we got 3 big men bigger than all of y'all that want something from you. You only got so much power. And you're gonna have trouble with one man as it is. Just imagine 3 or 4 that want you at the same time. That's how I get when you strong enough to protect yourself.
Hello, y'all. Welcome to BammBammRawTV. I'm Bam Bam, aka the 411 Giant. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you know my next video coming up. All right, on this episode number 2 of Vernon Miller and OG Percy, what OG Percy said about Vernon Miller. As I told y'all before, Vernon Miller was the man got on Real Life Street Stars, told his story of being a male raped in the federal penitentiary system. He touched a lot of people's hearts, made a lot of people feel sad for him. And you got OG Percy get on there saying, ain't nobody did that. And ain't nobody gonna live that down. And ain't nobody gonna do this here. And as I said, OG Percy was 100% right. I told a few people about the story, and they convinced me to do a reaction video and go and tell the truth on what happened. Now, this is episode number 2. And episode number 2, we got a letter down in USP, Florence. It said that he's supposed to have got raped. They gave him a knife to go handle the dude. Okay, and I'll tell that in the story. So I get shipped to Leavenworth. They shipped me to Leavenworth for stabbing. So I got shipped for stabbing and being involved in assault on officer. So they shipped me to USP Leavenworth, one of the oldest penitentiaries, and is the oldest penitentiary in the system. They got pictures of people coming in there on a horse and buggy. And so now I get there. Now, having received that letter, already being on point, my mind is, if these dudes who let that happen ain't got a good enough answer, they ain't gonna want me on this compound. They gonna try to stop me from coming on the compound. So when I came on there, I eased right on out there. I went and got situated, found out who of my homeboys was who of my homeboys was what. And I sit there, then that's when I brought it up. I was there by maybe almost 2 weeks before I brought it up. And then I brought it up, I had a meeting. I said, how they had a little dude come up there and I get word that he got raped down here. I want to know how that happened when men's from Shreveport and from Louisiana is on this compound. They told me, oh, you talking about CT? No, I swear I need to hear the story, man. I need to hear the story. I ain't told them what I already know. Well, I already know that what he done did up there. But I want to hear what they got to say. Because I'm saying in my mind, well, maybe what happened to him down here made him subject to being like that up there. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of it before I just, go all the way 8. So the homies, they broke down, they tell me, no, CT was up there in the cell with the homeboy. He was in the cell with the dude was our homeboy. He was in the cell. He was our homeboy. He was actually from Shreveport, Louisiana too, but he had moved to Missouri. So he caught his case in Missouri, in which I actually know some of his folks. So anyway, he supposedly had a sign. His sign was up whole period, whole hour. And CT Vernon Miller was in there. So a Native American who was also a GD named Fish told the homeboy, hey man, H had y'all little old homie up in the cell the whole hour with it blocked up, man. You know what was going down, man, blah, blah, blah. So when the homeboys pulled up on CT, aka Vernon Miller, like, man, what happened? And then he said, he raped me, son. So they said, what? All right, so the homeboys go get a knife. They get a knife, they grab their knife. They tell him, you go up there. We going up there with you. You hit him the first lick, we gonna finish him off. All you gotta do is hit that first lick because it was you. He's supposed to been did this to you. CT got it, he going toward the door. Now, to understand that in Leavenworth has 3 tiers. And you go straight out the door like that. But you turn to go up each tier. So they going up on the 3rd floor. So they heading toward the door. When they get ready to turn with CT, Vernon Miller, to go up the step. Vernon Miller took off running out in the hallway where the police is usually standing. He ran to a police and told the police, hey, my homeboy trying to make me stab somebody. So he did not want to stab the dude. Now, what reason for that? You should want to, I don't understand. Maybe he fell in love with him. I don't know. He didn't want to stab the dude. and allegedly told him that, and that's why they was, and so he checked in. They took him, they put him in the hole, and he checked him in the hole, and so they told me their story. I listened to it. All of them stories was pretty much the same. So now I goes up to the dude. I've been seeing him sit at the same table with us. Been seeing him out, so I still didn't say nothing. Kept it quiet. I went up there. I went up to his room, and I asked him. I say, man, boom. He told me who his folks was and everything. I said, yeah, okay, yeah, I know your folks. He actually even told me he remember one time he was seeing me regulating the hotel. That I had my boys at the hotel when he came down there one time visiting, and he knew who I was. So I explained to him. I said, man, I need to know the story is on CT, which is Vernon Miller. So he said, I said, man, cause rumors going around that you raped the homeboy, man. Now you did that. He said, no, Bam, no, hold on, bro. And I've been watching him. He's a big old South dude. I eventually ended up having to take his step back from the GD. I mean, not Project, the DC dudes. DC dudes took his stamps, took a whole washing powder box full of stamps. And I got it back by telling him it's mine. When I got it back, I kept half and gave him half of it. So he wasn't cut like that. And I asked him, I said, man, what happened then? Tell me what happened. And he told me the story. He said, I seen him, Bam. I seen something in him. I still ain't told nobody yet what I know, because I don't want to influence what they tell me. He said, man, I'm telling you, I seen it in him, Bam. And so I got him, seen him one day. I said, man, come over here and drink with me, homie. You from Shreveport? Come on, yeah, woo. Come on, drink up here. So he came on up and said, I got some bud too. So he came on up here. So he drunk with him, got high, and they was sitting up talking about different places in Shreveport and this and that. And he like, I didn't know you from Shreveport. So he said he got drunk. So he reached over, put his hand on him, and he didn't knock it off and everything. So it went on. So he said he laid him. So he getting drunk. So he laid him down. Oh man, laying down, wrestling, kind of playing with him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then so he said then started pull his pants down and put his underwear down, and he slick legged. Now he said he slick legged, which is he didn't want him. He seen that he was game, but he didn't want him go put it inside him, so to say, because if he put him inside of him and he wasn't sure that he was kind of run back and tell it, then he's go run to the police, and then the police will go do him a swab or anal swab and do a test on him and find out that he actually had been penetrated by this individual, and he can get a rape charge. So the dude tested him out by just slick-legged, putting himself in between his buns and gyrating as if he was effing him. But he didn't go in him at that time. So he said, dude got up. Boom. They got up. So they even finished drinking, laughing, and took the time for the move. You can only move every 10 minutes and every hour. He said they laughed and joked the time to move. So time to move. He got up. He left. Now, the homie who did this to him is a big old soft dude. But he said he was looking. He still didn't know what CT or K. Vernon Miller was going to tell the homeboys, or was he going to tell the police. So he said he was watching in case the homeboys came in on him. He looked for the homeboy to either come in on him, or he was looking for police to come and grab him on a rape charge. And he had too many stamps. He had too many hustles out there. He didn't want to get caught up like that. So anyway, a whole week passed. Ain't nobody said nothing to him. So he said CT Vernon Miller again. Say, look here, I got some fire wine, but this is even better than what we had last time. This shit here will knock you out, man. You don't need but a cup of this here. Then I got some more of that bud. Yeah, Saturday, come over here Saturday, such after lunch. Say, boom, he waited. Say, CT come. He said, he always watching to see what the deal is with the homeboy. You know, see, the police is a setup. He said, CT came on in there. Vernon Miller came in there. Then he come in there. See, they started drinking. They started doing it. He had the window thing blocked up. So then he went on. And so this time, he went on. He greased him up. So when he greased him up, he let him went on He let it went on and did it. I said when he went on and let him did it, then he left. He said when he left in there, he said, but you know, after a while, he heard that he checked in. He didn't know the whole story. That while he had checked in, he still heard that the homeboys had found out that he was effing. And that's why he didn't even know the dude had said that he had gave him the rape charge till later on. So anyway, that's what happened. That's how the homeboy, that would happen. That's the story coming from the man who's supposed to do it. And what OG Percy says was prophetic. Was because he said he said he exactly like Percy, OG Percy said. He said, man, I laid him down, I rubbed him, laid him down, and going on laying down, he just laid down with me. So then I pulled his pants down. He even helped him loosen the front while he pulling it in the back. You know, pulling the pants down in the back. So then he go on and he do it to him. And now the thing is with that, if that's what you prefer to be, or what you choose to be, or whatever, you your own person, you got to do your own time. But when you take that and you doing that in the light of darkness, and you coming back telling homeboys other different stuff, and then we ready to go to war about somebody trying to rape you when you're giving up your butt, when this is the way you want to live. But if you tell us this the way you want to live, we gonna regulate it and respect it. You ain't gonna we gonna regulate the situation, but we're not gonna hold it against you. But you gonna move within the circles that the circles are supposed to be moved in, and go by the regulation in which it's already been imposed. But you, as far as you being who you is, you're entitled to be who you is. Ain't nobody going against that. That's you. You got to do your own time. You got to do that too. But the fact that you go play that game and you go get what you want, and then you come back and when you get caught, you tell a lie on the other individual, how the homeboy finna go catch a murder case, or dude finna catch a case, or anything could get killed over you playing that game. That's what the part that concerned with me, just like it is with the situation when you playing with the affections of people by telling a lie. I mean, I know it's more explosive, it probably get more attention, but it's not the truth. And you're dealing with something that people actually have to deal with. And those people who have to deal with that need to be heard and need to be trusted when they speak. When enough of dudes play enough games like this here, then their voice won't be heard no more. And that's just me talking. Now, OG Percy again, much respect to you, man. I mean, you see through muddy water, man. You see through muddy water. I give you that because you called that. And I was sitting there shaking my head. I said, man, dude called it. So again, thank y'all for being here on BammBammRawTV. We got the Man of Murder coming on that series coming. And look here, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you know when my next video come out. All right, y'all. Peace.
To have a nice guy mentality going in, does a person have to erase that? Like if they're a nice guy, just, they're very respectable. I don't want to use the word like friendly, but, just very respectable. Can you go in there with that mentality on day one, or do you have to cut that off?
It's cut off when you enter the, your mentality ain't what give you up. It's your look. They can look in your eye. You don't got to say nothing. The only thing give you up in prison is when you open your mouth. A man will never know who you is if you keep your mouth closed. Vernon, nothing would have never happened to Vernon. Vernon would have never said nothing. Believe me that. I don't even got to look at him and tell you that. It's only one way to survive in prison, and that's ears and eyes. This right here get you in trouble. It's like putting a kitten in the jungle. If you throw a kitten in the jungle, how you gonna survive? He can survive if he don't say it. If you put a kitten in the jungle around the beasts and the everything that'll eat a kitten, how you gonna survive in the jungle when he used to drinking milk? Vernon was used to drinking milk. What I mean by that, he wasn't used to living out the way we got to hunt for his food and kill and eat for meat and stuff like that. So that means he was green in the jungle. As soon as they put a kid in the jungle, he say, meow, everything in the jungle wake up. They hurt you. They hurt
I
you.
like the analogy. I like the analogy.
You ever say his analogies be like,
Yeah, it's analogy. Yeah, you're right.
My bad.
Now, a little pervert from the end, like, they wake up.
Yeah.
Vernon,
Go ahead.
do you want to rebuttal?
no, because but I kind of agree with that because I did go in simply because I didn't know anything about prison. I had never been around other than Eric, but he was in Angola. I'm going to the feds, so I'm thinking it's gonna be way different than Angola, let alone state prison. So I just my assumptions on the federal system or the federal prison was just way different than what I actually found out once I got there, basically. You know, it wasn't as rough as I thought it was gonna be, but it was still rough.
Vernon, do you agree with what Percy said? You should have just kept your mouth closed. That's the only way people can know who you are.
I wish I would have stayed a little bit more quiet, a little bit longer until I got used to people, in general.
What year did you go in?
95.
Percy, what year was your first time?
89.
89. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My number 557023. 1989 was my first unit. Ramsey 2 unit. Rochelle in Texas. I entered the first prison boot camp. The first prison boot camp ever made in the state of Texas when Sharon Wilson was in. She gave you 90 days if you could make it through. You would have to make it through first. I went into prison when you was just doing 30 days was a year. You can get 30 years.
I've heard that.
You get 30 years to do 30 months. I went to prison when you can get 25 years and do 25 months. 1 month was considered a year in prison back then. You know how crowded prison, and you come home, you get $150. You know how many people catching 3 years and 2 years and 5 years and just going to get that 150 and come home. Oh, don't worry about it. Y'all think I'm. Didn't y'all remember the saying back in the day? They said the prison was overcrowded. You ain't never heard that, have you? Well, I was there when you had to step over people. You had to find a corner and find somewhere to sleep at. People everywhere. And they getting out. They PIAing out the county. They paroling out the county. They ain't going to prison. They going home from prison. They getting their number in the county and going home. It was a rehab for people. It was a rehab for me.
How old were you, Percy, when you first went in?
I was 17.
Vernon, you were?
I was arrested at 20, but by the time I made it into the system, I was 21.
You're 17 years old. You already getting down. You already know that here. For Vernon, he was very green. What could he have done? What was the name? You went to, what was your first?
The first Leavenworth.
Leavenworth. As a 21-year-old, this is talking to the nation now. As a 21-year-old going into a federal penitentiary system, what could he have done differently, you feel, Percy, as far as to not be considered prey out there?
To do what we all should do from the start. Listen to our mom and dad. Listen to people around. You ain't got to be your mom and dad. You can be Uncle Leroy, Uncle Eddie, and Uncle Eric. Okay.
Johnny.
But hey, the person that's telling you what to do right, they can prevent a whole lot of stuff. Like I said, I got backlashes last time that I was here because I said I gave a standing applaud about my sons being in prison. But I left out a very important statement during that interview. The reason I gave y'all that applaud because I want y'all to know it's only 2 calls you can get doing them things. You can get a we found him or we got him. That's the part that they overlooked in my. I know that I got my butt whooped for saying I applaud, but they left out they caught the mess, not the message. The message was I get the chance to see him again. If I get a call saying we found him over here, wrapped up on the side of the building with a gun in his hand, a bandana around his head, dead. Or we found him behind the store, or we found him in the street, or we found him in an apartment, we found him somewhere. He's gone. I didn't get that call. I got we got him. God damn. And I gave myself an applause because my kids always know that I tell them all the time on the road you going down on, you're not gonna make it. I still got some sitting around. You understand me? It's their choice to listen. It's not my choice to make. You know what I'm saying? It's their choice to listen. It's not my choice to make. Me and Vernon, we had choices. We took the choice we thought, but Vernon, I I gotta applaud him. He got away good. He got away good. You know, besides what he had to go through, but shit, that's what we go through when we think we don't want to listen no more. We end up in situations we gotta listen. Or it'll cost you.
So to add to that, a man comes in. I was spoke to this in Vernon as far as even how to treat a CEO, how to speak to CEOs when you first get there. Should you chest up, or should you let me obey more? Like, is the slave mentality, should that kick in immediately? Because they try to break you.
Why gotta be the slave mentality?
No, when I say slave mentality, it's because when I hear about people going to Angola, they make it seem like it's modern day slavery. It's like the way you work and the way they talk to you, boss, yes, master.
Didn't you just hear me say?
You do have that though. I mean,
the stories I hear.
Yeah, you do have that.
Time out. Didn't you just hear me say he got lucky?
Yeah.
But y'all didn't hear what I meant. What he got lucky about?
Please.
He got lucky because he went to the feds. Hello. He don't know nothing about no cotton fields, brother. He don't know nothing about getting up in the morning, gotta go to work, brother. He went to the feds. Did you go to the feds? He got lucky.
You feel the same way?
No, let me tell you, so he ain't gonna feel the same way because lockup is lockup.
Yeah, but
I don't care where you at. As long as you're locked up, you ain't gonna feel no different than the next man. I can't go to the refrigerator. I can't go to the shower when I want to. I can't go open up the ice box and give me nothing. No. Lockup is lockup. I don't care, but guess what? The treatment is way more different than where he was at than where I was at.
Aside from the beginning of what happened to me, ultimately, I think I came out better being in the feds than going to state.
I went to
because that's what any state prison pretty much is rough.
You got assaulted, and then one of the gang members put a knife in your hand and told you to go to work. It was one of the Crip gang. You were associated with the Crips, correct? All right. So a Crip gang member said, "Go to work. This man shouldn't be living no more." If you'd have handled that. First and foremost, Vernon, I want you to speak on that as far as why you couldn't go take another man's life just because someone else told you to. And then, Percy, I want you to speak on the mentality of the gang, what that means to a gang for him not to go do that. But if you don't mind to speak on why you couldn't go handle that because you associated yourself with those guys.
Why I couldn't go stab somebody? I mean, just...
all life is precious? Or you weren't mad enough? Or
no, it's not. I just don't have that to look a man in his face if
it was a gun, would it have been easy?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, knife is very intimate, very close to a person. To look a man's eye and see that eye go away. So
then also you got to look at it the other way. What if he was? We got into a fight and he took the knife from me and stabbed me and killed me. I mean, and I didn't even really. I don't think it's not that I should have cared. I guess to some people, if I got killed or not, it's just some people just not built for violence.
Did you tell the person who put the knife in your hand, did you tell them no? Like, I'm not doing it. Or did you take the knife and think about it?
When they first presented it to me, we talked about it, but I never took it.
Okay. With that being said, Percy, let me get your take on as far as, this is again 94. The gang mentality to say like, hey, he's repping for us. That means this needs to happen. If he doesn't do it, again, he got stabbed for not doing it. That mentality of the Crips at that time, was that something that was by law? Like, nah, this has to happen.
It ain't the Crips at that time. It's the Crips at this time too.
I agree with that.
No doubt. If you got gang in your mouth, you represent gang. Tell some a Crip. Had a person on roach unit, man. Gang member on roach unit, man. Say he went to the shower and some Mexicans raped him in the shower. For you to hear a Crip member getting raped by another gang member or a gang culture, that's gonna start a gang war. The other kind, it's on like I try to tell people in prison, there only 3 gangs in prison, they don't pay attention. Black, white, and brown. Crips and Bloods ain't nothing. It's black, white, and brown. But when you got a brown rape a black, it's gonna be a problem. You got a man take something from another man, point blank, period, it's gonna be a problem. I am a high-ranking gang member in the prison. Five Deuce Hoover Crip gang member. I am confirmed in the system. When I go to prison, everybody know it's Crip stuff rolling all across my neck, across my back, across my arm. I'm gang related everywhere. Where you look, you see Crip. I can't hide that. Prison is the most scariest place to gang bang at. Prison is the most, people gang banging in the street, and you would think it's harder in the streets. That's a lie. In the streets, you can hide in Oak Cliff. You can hide in Fish Trap. In Fort Worth, you can hide in Stop 6. You can hide in Eastwood. In prison, you can't hide nowhere. Ain't no block to go hide. Ain't no side of town to go run on in prison. When you come in there and you got gang in your mouth, if Vernon had gang in his mouth, Vernon was already in trouble. Anywhere it go. I mean, if you come in prison, it's best to be neutral. A neutral person get a lot of drama, but when they find out you just a real man from the start, you just a real man. I don't care what you, that's a real man. Nigga, Joker real. No, don't mess with Joker, homie. He straight now. He ain't nothing wrong with him. He don't bang nothing. But leave him alone, cause he a real one. Don't mess with Vernon. But if Vernon come in and say I'm Blood, I'm Crip, Vernon now belong to somebody. Vernon is under somebody's wing. You understand me? Even if he like it or not. If Vernon don't want to be nothing, don't say nothing. You hear me? Because when you say something, you become something. When you don't know nothing, you're not in nothing. You understand what I'm saying? But Vernon came in with gang in his mouth. I didn't know, he yelling, he Crip. But when you get in there and something happened to you as a Crip, don't you know you carrying the flag for everybody? You carrying the flag for everybody. You carrying that torch for everybody. That's something you can't put down when something go down. Hello! But anyway, my partner Calvin, he went to prison. He said some Mexicans raped him in the shower. That causes a whole gang war. Come to find out, Calvin lied. Yeah, you lied. He wanted to get off the unit. A lot of people use a lot of things to say, I want to leave her. And say, this happened to me, that happened to me, this happened, so they can just leave. The worst thing to say is somebody raped you. I mean, hey, but hey, bro, people go to the extreme, but come to find out, to make a long story short, find out he hadn't been raped. He hadn't been tampered with. So when they let everybody know the Mexicans went on lockdown, the blacks went on lockdown, they found out the story, they found out that all came down to a lie, had nothing ever happened to him. So let everybody back out. And guess what? When he got out, the Crip gang violated him. And doing that violation, you get really smoked. Like if Vernon don't go do what he's supposed to do, he gonna get violated. He in trouble. Vernon's in a lose-lose situation. You understand me? My partner, he was in a lose-lose situation. They let him out. We found out you lied. He got violated. Now, when you get violated, you get 3 or 4 people and they'll go in there and max you out 3 rounds. You already lost 1 round. You got 2 more of this. And they run you through there again. Let me tell you what he did. When he got ran through there the second time, he had black eyes. He was beat up. And guess what he did that time? Yeah. He went back to the folks again and told them, guess what? The Crips raped me. But guess what he did this time? Y'all ain't gonna believe this. I just gotta do this because I gotta let everything people know. He took a shampoo bottle, greased it up, and he stuck it up in his ass. To show that he had been penetrated, because the last time he had lied on the Mexicans and said they raped him, they did a rape kit on him. Well, ain't nobody did nothing to you. Hell, your butt ain't been touched. So he didn't show no penetration. So the next time when the Crips beat him up, he came in with black eyes, busted lips, and he just stuck this shampoo bottle up his butt and said, oh yeah, somebody got you this time. He ended up getting, Joker. I got the stories for you. He ended up getting shipped. But guess where he landed at? Right on Ferguson. That's how you land. You know how you ever seen a spider get, a fly get, look at him. Spider got him one. They landed in the web. When you do things like this is really, if y'all keep up with what I'm saying, I'm really speaking on what's going on with Vernon. But then you end up in a place, where somebody gonna know you. And so this guy came over, he acted like he was just tough, and whoop, whoop, whoop. And then somebody showed up and said, hey, that's him. Who is that? That's SOS. You know what SOS means in prison? That means smash on sight. That means as soon as you see him, don't worry about it. In the hallway, in front of the lounge, in the cafeteria, the chow hall, the shower, where you catch him, kill him. Smash him. Because you lied on something. You carried a torch that didn't carry you. When Vernon was violated and presented the knife, I got to give Vernon his props. Everybody. See, one thing I enjoy about this man right here, he's a real stand-up guy because he got hard enough to tell the truth. Even when it don't make you look hard. That's hard. I'm saying it again. To tell the truth when you don't got hard, that's hard. Because you can catch a lot of people saying they got hard and lie in your face. And say, yeah, man, I went in there and I did this. The man said, I know why Vernon didn't take the knife. I know why he didn't stab him, because everybody ain't built like that, homie. Everybody don't got no killing. It takes something to kill somebody, homie. It takes something. You just don't go in there and take a knife. Like you said, you gotta put that pressure on somebody. You gotta actually use that. You gotta feel that go in there. That's an up and personal kill. No. But guess what? If you don't, you're gonna end up on the other end of that knife, homie. Didn't I just say it's a lose-lose situation? Vernon, it's a lose-lose situation. He don't got no choice. If he wasn't nothing, if he was neutral, well, go on about your business. You just got raped.
Alumni of the couch for the third time, Vernon. And before I even get started with what we're about to talk about now, man, I just want to say thank you because, when we call on you for how strong it was for you to come tell your story, for you to come back 2, 3, 4 times, sit down face to face with OG Percy, not knowing what that conversation was going to be. It shows a lot about character, shows a lot about strength. And I just thank you. You know what I'm saying? We thank you for being able to come and do this one more time, man. And this time, you actually, since the last time we spoke, you're actually now a published author. So before we even get started, let's go and do it now. Go ahead and reintroduce yourself. Tell them where you're from, but also introduce your book if you don't mind, so we can at least, we're gonna jump around, but let's get right into it.
I came here to the couch originally to talk about going to prison and how the crimes that I committed going to prison, and then eventually getting raped in prison. So I wrote the book. This is kind of like really just part 1 about the 9 months that led me towards going to prison, the crimes that I committed and whatnot.
Yeah, your bank robbery spree.
Mm-hmm. Bank robbery, fast food places, things that we stole and took down to Florida. And
it's called Money, 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 the Root of All Evil.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna come back to that because I do question were you in it for the money, but we're gonna come back to that. For right now, man, I want to have a conversation with you that I think will resonate with a lot of our fans. And for those that don't know, this is Vernon, of course, out of Shreveport, right?
Yes, sir.
Born and raised at Shreveport. You came in, you told your story about being violated in prison, and of course, the world received it. A lot of positive comments, a lot of negative, like why would he tell this story? Why this? Why that? And as we spoke just a couple of weeks ago, you said, man, Joker, I almost committed suicide.
Yeah, I saw an interview that you did with, so I can't remember who it is now, but on that interview, you touched on something dealing with mental health. Yeah. And that brief interaction you had with him made me go, wow, that was very touching. And I sent you a text message, told you who it was. I forgot who it was, but I told you who it was. And I was like, dude, I got over something very major myself because I just had tried to kill myself.
And my assumption, first and foremost, would be that, as we spoke about your first interview and you were going through, and I know, we always try to tell people to stay away from the comments, that, you were reading the comments and some of them, possibly the negative ones, were possibly getting to you. And my first assumption was that maybe there was a comment or two or something that he saw or read that made him go overboard and want to kill himself. Was it because of the internet fame or the notoriety of the?
I was dating a girl at the time, and things that a decision that she made that to go back to her ex-boyfriend, it caused a ripple effect in other areas of my life. And at that point, I just didn't see really any other way that I was gonna be able to get out of what I was dealing with. And so I was just like, man, this is over. I'm done. I made a video and I sent it to some people and I was gone.
let me ask you, what was the video, if you don't mind?
Just a goodbye. Just, I just basically said I can't handle this anymore. This isn't the life that I thought that I would be doing by this point. I mean, I thought I would be doing pretty good by now, but I don't know, it's just been a struggle.
Is it because of the, based on even what the book is about, you actually touched a lot of money during your bank robbery spree as far as fast money? Were you looking for money? Were you looking for quality of life? Or when you say doing good,
no,
is it financial or you mean just in
relationship wise? I thought I'd be doing good. I mean, job security, I thought I'd be doing good. Living arrangement, I'll be doing good. But right now, everything is just really in a influx.
Yeah.
So it just, at that point, it just caused me to feel like it was no way out and I was gone.
If you don't mind going through technically what happened, they say women can drive a man crazy or drive us to suicidal thoughts and things like that. Can you explain the situation of, kind of walk us through?
Well, first of all, I actually suffer from mental health already as it is. And one of my mental health issues that I suffer from is suicidal ideation. So I actually think about suicide every day as it is. But some days are actually worse than others. In this particular day, when I tried to kill myself, or when I had actually followed through with it, I lost my train of thought. I made the video, I took the pills, and next thing I know, within an hour, the police department was knocking on my door, and because somebody had called the police to come do a welfare check. And from that point, they took me to the hospital and locked me up for 3 days.
Okay, man, I want to dissect this kind of slowly here. You said you have, it's called suicidal ideation.
Ideation. Ideas.
Oh, yes.
With ideation.
So you said you have those on a daily, or you were having those on a daily. You said you took pills to try to end it.
I took 11 hydrocodone pills.
Oh, man. Yeah, man, I'm surprised you're here. Because was that always your thought process of, if I ever had to take myself out of here, I'm going to go?
It was just a spur of the moment thing. This happened on a Sunday. All day that Saturday, I didn't know what to do. I mean, I cried. I cried.
By yourself?
Yeah, I was by myself. I just cried. And Sunday morning, I got up. Like I said, I tried to call somebody to talk. And he was like, dude, I'm on my way to church tonight. And I was like, all right. And so I sat in my car, made the video, went back to my hotel room because I was homeless.
Yeah.
Because the girl that I broke up with, I was staying at her house. And that's kind of, that plays all into it because I was living, when me and her got together, we made a conscious decision because financially, it would have been easier for me to move into her place. And so when she decided she wanted to go back to her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, it left me with no place to live. So I was homeless, and then it just kind of, everything just went out of whack.
What was the reason she went back to her ex-boyfriend?
Her words, she still loved him. She was still in love with him.
What are your thoughts of why she went back, just based on, hindsight 2020?
I mean, just obviously she did love him. I mean, I don't know, just